Through Weight Loss by Hers, you can give yourself something to be excited about in 2025. You can spend the new year in control of your weight by losing up to an average of 9 pounds in your first month. This is based on data that real Hers customers have reported based on their personalized compounded GLP-1 treatment plans. Hers is transforming women's healthcare by providing access to affordable weight loss treatment plans, delivered straight to your door if prescribed. Hers offers a holistic weight loss program with personalized solutions, including compounded GLP-1 weekly injections, featuring the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy or oral medication kits. So if you've been struggling with your weight loss journey, it's time for you to find the best option that works for you through Hers. Start your initial free online visit today at forhers.com/KKC. That's FORHERS.com/KKC for your personalized weight loss treatment options. forhers.com/KKC. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased. Okay, you want to look luxurious but not spend a lot of money? I got you covered. With Quince, you're going to treat yourself to everyday luxury at an affordable price. Something everyone needs in their closet, in my opinion. Quince's iconic Mongolian cashmere sweaters, guess what? They start at $50. Or if you really want to up your luxe factor, check out their Italian leather bags, washable silk skirts, and European linen sheet sets. Whatever you're looking for, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. It's because they partner directly with top factories and cut the costs of the middleman, passing the savings on to you. And also they work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. And of course, they use premium fabrics and finishes for that luxury feel. You guys need to go get yourself the bodysuits. That's my new obsession. Look great with jeans or a skirt. Treat yourself this winter without the luxury price tag. Go to quince.com/KKC for 365-day returns, plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/KKC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/KKC.
The amazing Kate Casey.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with Kate Casey, and I've got a great episode for you. DeRosa is back with me, and we're going to talk about the season premiere of The Bachelor. We've got a whole new Bachelor. His name is Grant Ellis. He's 31 years old. He's a day trader. He formerly played professional basketball, and he's about one of the hottest guys that's ever been on the show. Then we also discussed the investigation discovery docuseries, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, which many of you are already familiar with. This is a follow-up special to The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, Natalia Speaks. And there has been renewed interest in this scandal, so they made another part of the series. So here's what you need to know. Natalia Grace was born in Ukraine to a woman by the name of Anna. After birth, she was placed in an orphanage in Ukraine. She was diagnosed with a rare form of dwarfism. She was accused of pretending to be a 6-year-old orphan who was adopted and later abandoned by a couple by the name of Michael and Christine Barnett. The Barnetts alleged that Natalia Grace tried to poison Christine, the mother, and pushed Michael, the father, into an electric fence before leaving her behind in Lafayette, Indiana, in an apartment in 2013. They had her legal age changed from 6 to 22 years old, and then they moved to Canada. Totally leave the country. They claimed she was far older than they had expected. They thought they were adopting a small child, but she was this older person. Well, in 2019, a Ukrainian woman named Anna, who we now know is her birth mother, she comes forward and she claims that she was Natalia Grace's birth mother and that she refuted claims that Natalia Grace was an adult at the time of her adoption or that she was a sociopath. So through DNA tests conducted by a lab, her age appears to be, at present, 22 years old. The results suggest that Natalia Grace was around 9 years old when she was adopted by Michael and Christine Barnett. So the lab work was conducted in August of 2023, and she was suspected to be around 22, 23 years old. So she says that Christine is the sociopath. So since then, after being abandoned, she was eventually taken in by another couple. And in 2016, they applied to become her legal guardians, but they were denied. They maintained that she was a teenager at the time and later spoke out during an episode of Dr. Phil, explaining that they didn't experience the same allegations of abuse. But for the third and final season of The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, it begins with her adoptive parents, the Manns, questioning her behavior just 6 months after they became legal guardians of her and had been in their care since 2014. They said if she's going to destroy herself, she needs to do it herself. She don't need help. This is what Cynthia, the mother, is heard telling the producers of the series over the phone. And she and her husband were expressing their desire to talk about the latest status of their family unit on camera, of course. So she's no longer in the care of the Manns family. And it's discovered that she's still allowing them to profit off of her financially, and that it's potentially covering up other alleged abuses in which she denies. And then she's got a boyfriend now. So it's been this long series, and a lot of people have been sucked into it, including ours very truly, Chris DeRosa. So we talk about The Bachelor, and then we talk about Natalia Grace, and then a couple other things like sprinkled in. You are going to have a great laugh in this episode. I don't know where you are today, but I'm hoping that it brings the skip in your step that you deserve. So here is my interview with Chris DeRosa. Chris, I have some good news first I have to share with you.
Okay.
The good people at Netflix have already sent me screeners for the new season of Love is Blind, the Minneapolis one.
I hate when you do this to me. Okay, go ahead.
I think I kind of love it.
Really?
I think the people that live there are so earnest.
Yeah.
And it's like real love stories-ish, like where you're like, they really believe in love. They're not
there to be an influencer, or maybe.
They're not an influencers. They're like normal people. Oh, granted, this might air and they would become complete monsters.
They will. That will happen.
They will.
Yes,
they will.
Sure.
Right.
But like, of course it is. Duh. Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm 28 years old again. And I'm like maybe falling in love with someone I just started dating. It's like that.
Okay. That's something. You know what I mean? Like, usually we're like, blah, like, here we go.
We're like, I hate this turd. Like, he's such a jerk.
Okay, so there's no like out.
Well, no,
like,
I mean, there's stuff we're going to like totally be able to laugh and stuff
have
about
our
it.
whole situation. Yeah.
But I did feel like this is why the people who live in the Midwest are so good. It's because they're not so cynical like those of us.
Not like us.
No, they like believe in love.
Okay, that's like great though. Well, and I also like that it's because they're probably like, if you live in Minneapolis, you're not like, oh, and then I'm like just a hop and skip from like New York where I can like try to be a fashion designer, or like LA where I can try to be a model. You know what I mean? Like they're really like, I live in the Midwest. And so I'm like they're like a real person, you know?
That's what it is. I feel like they're real people and they have real life experiences. And some of them have had parents that have like still are in love. And you're just like, okay, there's like a little bit of hope in them, which is kind of funny because one thing I've always hated about The Bachelor was in the beginning 25 seasons or something, they really pushed this narrative like the lead comes from a family that has perfect parents. And it's always like setting the other, like the contestants up for disaster because God forbid their parents are divorced or they've got an aunt who's on crystal meth. They're going to be embarrassed because they can't be honest.
Yeah, sure.
But so it's kind of a weird thing. But anyway, I'm excited for you to watch it. I want to tell you that I've really been enjoying it, and I think you will too.
Okay, I'm glad. And
then, by the way, the good people who make that show, who are working on the crew, and some of them you may even be friends with.
I am.
Please tell them I'm really enjoying it.
Okay, I will let them know.
Okay, so that brings us to The Bachelor, and you know, we've talked about it in the past. We
sure have.
Lots of feelings about the way that this show is structured. And for this show, which is really interesting, is it's pretty much stayed the same kind of show since the very beginning, Alex Michelle years.
Yeah.
And that is a fascinating thing. It has really fought modernizing, which is kind of perplexing.
Yeah, and you feel that in a lot of the like editing that goes on, like when they're getting their roses and the one's like, I'm so nervous, I'm not going to get a rose. And like, you know that she's going to get a rose. You know what I mean? And I'm like, guys, this is so like 2007. Like,
yes,
you know, and they still have it. And even just like the whole grandioseness of it is it's like no other show makes it like this anymore. But
I know the fact that they still wear dresses from Macy's.
And he still has like a suit on at the beginning. It's like the same thing.
And the oiled up driveway and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Shocking that they still use the same sort of house and they don't go like to like a super modern house in Palm Desert or something.
No, because that would be so different.
Do you think that the people that watch the show
they still
would
use
be
a stretched
horrified?
limo? Like when was the last time you saw a stretched limo?
Good
For
point.
real.
Yeah, well, truly, it is like they're getting dropped off at the senior prom.
Yeah,
you're right.
Because they are.
But no one is wearing a corsage or throwing up in the bushes yet because they got drunk in the pre-party.
Yet.
All right, well, let's talk about Grant Ellis because this fella is pretty handsome. And when I tell you...
He's so hot.
He's so hot. I have never seen my child prick her ears up in the way she was like, wiggity, wiggity, what? Like,
who is that? Yeah.
What's that sound you make? Oh, we go. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't even know. What do I say? I don't even know what. Awooga, like that.
Awooga, yeah. Like she just was like walking through and I said, oh, that's the new Bachelor. And she said, oh my God, he's so hot. I've never heard her talk about somebody like that.
He also is like, okay, go with me, but like every millennial like had a crush on a guy that looked like this in high school at one
Probably.
point. Like hot guy, short hair, earrings, the like blinged earrings.
That threw me off a bit.
No,
is it necessary or is it just to complete the look?
It's to complete the look, but it's such a like, because he's probably my age and it's such an early 2000s.
Yes.
Like, because how old is he? Let's see how old is he?
He's 31 years old.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. I'm 34. He's like on the young side of like millennial, like that's what we in
love.
High school, college, like that, like in a small town in rural Pennsylvania where we thought we were like doing something. That's please, like every guy was dressed like that, and then he played basketball. Hello,
yeah, you're right.
Come on.
Do you think he plays music when he makes Sweet Love?
Would you see this in Orange County? No, you wouldn't. But like that's not where he's from either. So.
I mean, you might. I don't know. I think that the majority of women of America would see him and fall deeply in love. He's that cute.
He's so hot.
Yeah. So here's the shock is that Jen Tran didn't let him go to hometown dates. Like he didn't make it that as far as you would think.
Oh, was he on the show before? I didn't know any. I don't watch. Obviously, I don't watch. So.
Yeah, he was a contestant and he didn't make it to home dates. And so they quickly got him.
So comfortable on camera. I was like, he's really like piloting the ship here.
Yes.
Like, but it's because he knows what he's doing.
So at first I was like, why did Jen Tran let him go? But then I thought, well, she ended up with the guy that's her height, who she dances the Paso Doble with on Dancing with the Stars. So that was really more of her vibe.
Wait, so she wouldn't let him go to the hometown? Like she was just like, no?
No, meaning like he wasn't chosen to make it all the way to the hometown date segment of the show.
Got it.
Which is like a real clincher. Like if you get that far,
you
got a real prayer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. We also need to know a couple things about him. He was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. So I need your feelings about that. Now he lives in Houston. What do we feel about Newark, New Jersey? What's the kind of vibe that we're getting?
I mean, I live a stone's throw from Newark, New Jersey. I mean, it's
down to earth.
Downtown, it's a crime-ridden city. But you know what I mean? It's the murder capital of the United States. But
good. Great. Lovely.
I also grew up in like the murder capital of Pennsylvania and I didn't,
And I went to school in the murder capital of the country in college, DC. So
like
good company.
We're fine.
Yeah. I feel like if he's from Newark, he's down
Jersey
to
strong.
Earth, but direct. Yes.
I might have to just watch this now that I know he's from New Jersey.
I know. Okay. But now he lives in Houston. Now, his mom signed him up for the show because she was watching The Golden Bachelor and falling deep in love with Jerry Turner, I would assume, and said, my son is a perfect match. So she signed him up.
Smart.
Then he was going to be in the Jen Tran episode, series, which he did. Viewers fell in love with his charisma and the fact that he seemed to actually have feelings for Jen, which is a shock to most people who watch the show because they would assume like no one actually falls in deep love, but he actually seemed to have feelings for her. Unfortunately, sent home in week 6, just before the hometown dates. He played football for Hudson Catholic High School, Iona University, Southern University, and Albertus Magnus College, according to People magazine. He is 6'4". He was a guard and also played professionally overseas, primarily in the Dominican Republic. I am very unfamiliar with their basketball league, but I'm assuming that he was probably a big deal. Unfortunately, his 4-year professional career was cut short by a career-ending injury, and now he works as a day trader. For those of you who are like, what the hell is a day trader? It's an investor who buys and sells securities. Again, he's age 31. Now, he did go on another podcast in the summer, and he said after his professional basketball career ended, he began the career as a day trader. S&P 500, that's the only instrument I trade. I studied and went all in. The first 3 years, I lost everything that I had in the market, but I stuck at it. It's a process that tests who you are. It tests your resilience and your ability to weather the storm. And okay.
Okay, the S&P 500 is like that's like no shit. So it's like, right? I know nothing about stocks and I know what the S&P 500 is. So row.
I thought was a little bit concerning. The first 3 years I lost everything. And I was like, well, you played professional basketball for 4 years, so that we're going to jump. So we're at like 26.
Yeah.
And so 29, he's lost everything. And now he was on The Bachelor at age 30. So he's only had like 1 year of real success.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not, a little rare.
Well, he's hot. So.
But there's that. Okay. So here's where I really kind of thought, I like this guy. His parents divorced after 30 years of marriage, and now his dad is sober after a long struggle with addiction. His dad sat him down and told him that he will be a better father than he was and how special his son is. Why do I like this? Because I like somebody who really, truly has experienced hardship.
Yeah, sure.
Emotional hardship. And I think if you're going to be serious about marriage, it's not always wonderful if your whole family was wonderful and you've lived in a bubble.
Yeah, especially if you're going to try to marry someone that you met like 2 weeks ago.
Well, that too.
You know what I mean? Like it's that you've never spent any actual real alone time with ever. Yeah.
He also seems to like his family very much, which is very sweet. And he's got a sister that immediately I went, well, she looks like a model. Turns out she is a model.
Yeah.
I mean, they're dumb not to include her, but of course they did include her in the episode because she is absolutely stunning.
Well, that too, with the like fake, that's so like old school. It's like the fake, like, oh, here's this other girl coming in. Like we don't see her face immediately. And then they're like, who is that? And it's his sister. And she's like, I'm his sister. And they're all like, woo, thank God. And I'm like,
thank God,
okay.
Because you're so perfect. You know what I didn't understand? Because I feel like this show sometimes doesn't hit the market on the styling. They put the sister who's a model in like little kitten heels, like the worst, like outdated shoe with like a long slip dress with a slit up the side. It just felt like her outfit was not very modern. Her shoes.
No, I liked her outfit. I thought it fit her perfectly. She looked so incredible.
Well, she would fit
and
perfectly.
They look exact. Well, the thing that's so funny is like, how would you not think that was her sister? They look exactly alike.
I mean,
like it's like each other's face on each other's body. Like it's like they look exactly alike.
Sometimes I get tripped out when siblings look so much alike, and the people who know me are laughing because people always say that about my own kids. I do not think that they look exactly alike, but in this case, they're obviously siblings. Yes, but in this case, it looks like they must be twins because they look exactly alike. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Oh, everyone's surprised, but I do like it when the idea of who is this bitch, and then all of a sudden they have to kiss her ass. I kind of like that.
Yeah, no, sure. That's fine.
Yeah. This episode is sponsored by Acorns. Acorns makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing so your money has the chance to grow for you, your kids, and your retirement. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you invest with the spare money you've got right now. You can start with $5 or even just your spare change. And you don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that fits you and your money goals. Head to acorns.com/KKC or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/KKC. My new goal this year is hydration. My days get so busy, it's actually the one thing that I always forget to do. And I love Liquid IV. It is powered by Hydroscience, and it helps you break the mold. They've got great flavors, like my personal favorite, the Pina Colada. Think about how much you are working out. Are you refueling? How much did you actually drink to rehydrate? Liquid IV is leading the way in flavor innovation. They've got a ton of great flavors, including the sugar-free flavors like raspberry lemonade, white peach, and rainbow sherbet. You can break the mold and own your own ritual. Just one stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, and always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. Embrace your ritual with extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code KateCasey at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today by using promo code KateCasey at liquidiv.com. My feeling about this show is that they bring him on and he's obviously gorgeous, but he also has been working hard on the S&P and has not been around enough women because he's taken the opportunity in the very first episode to make out with at least approximately 15 of them.
I like it. I'm fine with it. This is the thing. I'm so done with them being like, oh, this is like wholesome and whatever. It's like, no, he's like, I'm like kissing every girl that I think is hot, which I'm into. And it's driving the women crazy. They're like, oh, they're making out. Oh no. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right.
I love watching them react to it. And I'm so done with it being like, I'm going to like not like, you know, it isn't until I'm like so in love with you that I'm going to kiss you. It's like, no, like kiss. And then whenever that chemistry's not there, be like, ooh, I didn't like that. Be like, okay, we're good. You know what I mean? That I like. And I also love, he was kissing everybody because it was, these girls on this season are like the hottest I've ever seen.
I would agree with you. I think they are. Mm-hmm.
Everyone is more gorgeous than the next.
True.
Like for real and not like, oh, haha, whatever. There's zero, like they are all stunning because he is just like so incredibly hot. So it's like wow. Like, wow. Like everyone would come in and I was like, oh, she's gorgeous. I was like, oh, he's going to love her because she's like so beautiful. And then the next one come and he'd be even more beautiful. And I was even the first impression girl was like so stunning. They all were so gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, I had a forefront runner, which probably means nothing. We personally at this house enjoyed Lydia, who's a Mormon and was born in Hawaii. And
oh, yeah, she was the first package, wasn't she?
She was the first package. And her father died when she was like 3 months old, to which 2 of the girls broke out into complete sobs. They just couldn't get past it. They just said that she really needs to marry him. She's like, it was 30.
Yes, meanwhile, she's like, it was 30 years ago.
It was 30 years ago, but yeah, but it was
stop crying. Like,
too much for them.
Yeah.
So the oldest one was in love with him, and the others were just heartbroken that Lydia's father has since passed away. So I do believe that they probably have the best chance based on nothing but my own intuition and seeing things through the TV. Did you have a front runner favorite?
No. Okay, the girl with the llama, I loved.
Yeah, she was funny.
The llama as like a device, like as a comedic device in the episode was great. Like when that other girl walked in and then the llama was staring her right in the face. And she was like, is that real? And it's like, yes, look at it.
Yeah. How did you not notice it was real?
I don't know if I have a front runner. The one girl with the dark, I mean, listen to my description of her. The one girl with the dark hair that's pretty, like like the one guy, I don't even remember what any of them do, but he really liked that girl that was the like speech person.
Yes.
That made him do the thing. He really liked her.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of them that he was like really into.
For you, I thought you need to talk to Dina, the one who was the attorney, because I already felt like she was a real housewife.
Who was she?
She was the one who had straight, sort of shoulder length hair, sparkly dress. And then they showed her in the office and she's like, listen, I'm one of 11 kids. And a lot of people think that I'm, people pleaser.
Oh,
but
yeah. No, I liked her.
I'll rip your eyeballs out. Yeah, I liked her.
Yeah, me too.
So not that you cast shows, but I feel like we need to find out where she lives.
I was into her. The one girl from Manalapan, New Jersey, where they brought him a pizza, like that.
She is such a Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yeah, she's ready. Yeah, she sure is.
She doesn't have a husband, but we'll get her one. Yeah.
Yeah, she was fun. There was fun people. Like I was enjoying it.
The one thing
I don't watch the show, but like I was like, oh, if I liked this, like this is really good.
Well, the one thing I do too like about him is he's a little bit more vocal about his feelings when it came to like the part of the show where he has to eliminate people. I kind of like that.
He was like, this is really hard. One in the previews, they were like about to have to make the decision between the 2 girls and he like can't do it, which is like they're milking that for all it's worth in the preview.
Do you think that that moment was actually 20 seconds? Then he was like, nope, I'm good. Get rid of her. Yeah. I don't know.
Like, actually, yeah, that's funny.
So what do we think? We think that this guy's going to find long and lasting love?
I'm good. That's horrible.
I would be like that. Do you ever watch the show or any reality dating show and imagine yourself on it and what you would do?
No, I don't know what I would do. A dating show? Yeah, right. I would be like the absolute villain way more than anything else.
You think?
'Cause I'd be like, what? Like, I'd be so mean in the interviews. Like, I'd be like they'd be like, I'm like a paralegal. And I'd be like, okay. Like, then I'd be like, all right. Like, anyway, do you know what I mean? I would be so mean.
Yeah, I could see that. And then what they'd say, my parents got divorced and my dad has been sober for a year. And you would go, and okay.
No, but that at least I'd be like, okay, yeah, like, got it. Like, and then how did you feel? Blah, blah. Like, interviewing the people and talking to people wouldn't be bad, but like, they're always like, so like, I'm just trying to find like my person that like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I like, don't speak that way now or have I ever, you know what I mean? Like,
a lot of these situations are no win because someone will ask like, why are you still single? Or what was your last relationship? Oh, I was in a relationship for 2 years and it went south. Okay, well, what happened? Well, were you really going to tell them what the real truth is? Well, he cheated on me and I went crazy and I like stabbed his tires out.
The other thing is I'd be like, what happened? You know what I mean? I'd be like, what really happened? And then they'd be like, what? I'd be like, what do you mean what?
Yeah. I wonder how I would show up because we all know that when I was on Match.com, I totally exaggerated who I was in order to get the attention of people that I thought were attractive. So I don't know how honest I would be.
Well, you would be like a villain too because you'd get caught in a lie. You'd be like, I love hiking. And then the guy would like bring you on a hike and you'd be like, I hate this. And he'd be like, that is exactly the opposite of what you told me.
That's true. Yeah. But I also feel like I would be a villain because I would be playing 3 guys at one time.
Oh, yeah. You'd be like Leo times what is it? Wait, is it apparently Leo from
I know.
Is dating Allie's Aaron?
I know.
Oh, brother.
I know. When's she going to figure out that he's got his art gallery is actually bombs?
They dug their heels right into him. I mean, good for Allie.
Good for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another thing I want to talk to you is about Natalia Grace. Now, just for background, before the first episode of the show aired, I spoke with Shannon Evangelista, who created this whole show with her husband, Eric. But Shannon is the producer, and she is the one who really has done all the work. And it was very interesting to talk to her about how this story continued to unravel, and it was like the biggest story of her career. So first, I want to acknowledge the great work she did putting together this series and finding the story.
I watched all of it.
You would just like watch some like at night before you went to bed, which I found perplexing.
In little beautiful morsels.
So before you go to bed, do you turn to Hassan and you're like, let me just tell you what just happened? And he's like, I can't take any more.
No, well, you don't usually go to bed at the same time. He likes to stay up really late and I wake up really early. So we're 2 ships passing in the night whenever it comes to like sleeping.
Well, why am I texting you and not him?
I don't know, because I'm asleep for a lot of it probably.
By the way, quick question, not to side note, but on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Dorit and Kyle are fighting because
the text.
Because of the text. Do you have a problem with texting a friend? Like if you have other friends that are in a couple, do you text both of them jointly so no one gets any idea?
I text solo in the couple. I text solo.
I do too. I think it's because I approach people all week long for work that it just doesn't seem like a big deal to me.
And like and also if the thing that's so funny is that Kyle's defense is like, we are friends. But remember last year, whenever she was like, we are not friends to Dorit. LOL. Like that's what's so funny about the whole thing is that she's like, you're my really good friend. And I'm like, you literally said that you weren't friends last year.
Right.
I like have turned on her so hard because I think she's so phony. But like, I would so text the other person. And whenever she tried to be like, she kept reading like, I'll never discuss what we discussed or whatever. That was like,
which is super private and should never be discussed on TV. Your secret about what actually happened, which is totally secret and I shouldn't reveal, will always be safe with me while I read this on TV.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't mean like, I have nothing to say. Like, why do you keep reading that over and over again and not act like that's not a smoking gun of like, I have secrets on you.
Anyway, just a side note.
No, it's ridiculous.
So Natalia Grace, you've been watching this.
Speaking of secrets, yes.
What's the net that you have come to the conclusion of watching all of these episodes and really hearing all the backstories?
She grew up in like a horrible situation. Like she's known like manipulation from the beginning of time for her. And so it's like she can't live in a world that's not like a full manipulation of the world.
Right. So we can't, sort of like a Paris Hilton, we can't
like
expect
when she was
things.
Like, when she was like still shielding the family that was like stealing all of her money. And she was like, no, we're all fine. We're all fine. And it's like, because she like felt that she needed to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, like I never feel that I'm getting the full truth from her. And that's not her fault. That's because she like has never been, she doesn't understand how to.
Mm-hmm. And everybody wants her money. But how much money are we talking about? 3 Skittles in a bank account? What's happening?
I don't, that's what Dominic and I said. We were like, it's like $700 a month that they're like, and like all these different families are like fighting over it. And it was the first family that was like Barnetts. That man, the Barnetts, where I said that the Dominic should play the dad in a dramatic retelling, which they're making, by the way. Did you see that announcement? They're making one, and Ellen Pompeo is going to be the mom.
Oh, is that a good choice?
Isn't that crazy? She doesn't know, and we don't know. She said, we're going to find out if I can act outside of being Meredith Grey. And I was like, that is true. We will find out. Because I'm not sure if you can.
Well, I just feel like that's such an odd choice. But Dominic would kill it.
As the dad, I know. And I said he wouldn't put the weight on to have the role. And he said, that I wouldn't. He said, now that I've lost it, I wouldn't put it on.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't.
I'm obsessed with them. I love that like that one little person family was like so desperately wanted her. And then the minute they got her, they were like, I have to pay for her? Like, and they were like so upset. And then I loved the like she could have a job, right?
No, that's what Dominic said too, right?
Like she types on the computer. Like she could have like a random. Like
everybody works from home now.
There's nothing stopping her from having like a computing job or like being a secretary, right? Am I wrong about this?
I don't think you're wrong at all. And she seems quite bright.
Like to answer the phone somewhere, or like to just like be someone's assistant, or like to like again to like send emails for someone, or just like truly do a job that's mainly on your computer. Like that's most people's jobs.
Correct.
So like in theory, she like I don't understand. Like, does she have a job? Like that's the thing that I don't get is that she's like they're all vying for her like her assistance checks, and I'm like, you could like make real money,
right? How old is she?
Like start a podcast and talk about your life, and we would all listen. Duh.
How old is she? Do we really know the exact age now?
Like 20.
2021.
Like 2021.
But by the way, you know what she would do so well on? Cameo.
Yeah. Oh my God, why doesn't she have a cameo?
Why doesn't she have a cameo?
Okay, we might need to talk to her. These are like, she's leaving money on the table. But then is she not earning money on purpose? Because then like that like piece of white trailer trash woman that was her mother, quote unquote, that was like she doing all these things, blah, blah, blah. That woman, like literal piece of trash. Maybe because she's like, oh no, she'll take all of it. Remember her like Venmo was like hooked up to that woman.
I know. Yeah. Every account is
the pastor's wife.
Yeah.
The two of them.
That's always
I have
a
my
pastor's
antenna
wife.
up on
pastor and a pastor wife. Sure you are. What is the church called? The Church of the Bank. Right. Okay.
Yeah, the Church of Fort Knox. Yeah.
Yeah, like how many parishioners are part of this church?
And this weird, did you see the weird like YouTube videos that he puts up? With weird like swirl. Like think about in like a 90s cartoon when they would like want to hypnonize someone with like that swirl. Like that's what he has in the background of his videos. I'm not joking. Like I'm
like a full cult leader.
Like on purpose.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were connected to that woman who was the cult leader who died and they mummified her.
And then she had like green,
Christmas lights.
Like green skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she was like the colloidal silver was like all through her body. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tragic story. I mean,
it's so sad. And it sucks because she's like, she isn't this innocent victim because like, she's like such a part of it.
Yeah.
And like, she like, but it's also like, but she's also like the child and they're the adult. And then she has to be like, I feel really bad for her, but she's someone that's like kind of similar to like Gypsy Rose Blanchard, where it's like,
right. There's, as my mom would say, there was no hope for them.
Yeah, like she will be like a manipulator forever because her mother was a monster. Do you know what I mean? Gypsy will never just be like a straight shooter ever, 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 ever.
And I hope this is not an inappropriate question, but I think it's something that most people who are aware of the story are still thinking about and need to know the answers. And you probably got the answers, which I don't have. Why did she have pubic hair when she was so young?
I don't know. But I would attribute that to being like, because of her dwarfism, maybe.
Okay, maybe.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
because that was the thing where I was like, oh, maybe they are right. She's a lot older.
And also, like, I don't believe one thing that dad or that mom, that original OG mom or dad,
the Barnetts.
I don't trust them as far as I can throw them, and it's not far.
Yeah.
Like with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the Oscar nomination just came out. You want to talk about the performance of a lifetime? That father in the first season of this show.
Yeah.
It's like it was a one-man show. Oh, excuse me, a one-woman show where he was like throwing himself on the ground pretending to be like Natalia and the mom. It was insane.
Ready to electrify your drive? Hyundai's cutting-edge EV lineup is about to change everything you thought you knew about electric vehicles. Prepare to be captivated by a range that's as bold as it is brilliant. From the lightning-fast Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6, charging from 10 to 80% in a mere 18 minutes, to the tech-packed cabins boasting highway driving assist and blind spot collision warning, Hyundai EVs are redefining the electric experience. And with America's best warranty, including a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited electric battery warranty, you'll drive with unmatched confidence. Hyundai's EVs aren't just the future. They're the now you've been waiting for. Learn more about Hyundai's EVs at HyundaiUSA.com. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details. America's best warranty claim based on total package of warranty programs. See dealer for limited warranty details. See your Hyundai dealer for further details and limitations.
Behind every BP fill-up, thousands of people across America go to work every day. People producing energy offshore. People turning it into products at our refineries. People doing R&D to make products that are better for your engine. People trading and shipping fuels to their destinations. And the people who help you at one of BP's growing family of retail stations. They're part of the more than 300,000 jobs BP supports across the country. Learn more at bp.com/investing in America.
If they were to like maybe check back with her in like a year or two, your recommendation, as mine is to do cameos.
Cameos, and then just like have a job where you just like input things. Like, I feel like she's so hindered by like her. She's like, what am I going to do? And it's like, well, you could just like have money and then like liberate yourself from all of this.
Truly.
She's like, where am I going to live? I'm like, you could like have your own house if you just like had a job. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's again, like she's not above, like she knows how to type. Please, she's typing sexual messages to her boyfriend in London. So like.
Well, they say that with that reactive disorder that are the one that sometimes adoptees have, where it's like they didn't connect with the birth parent, that one of the sub symptoms is you become very sexualized.
Oh.
And that's the reason she's probably like going wowzers.
Well, and also too, just like, I love her random accent. Well, one, I love her random accent. Sometimes she's like, can we cut? Like, she's like, I don't want to do that. Like, there's times when she like does full Honey Boo Boo, and I'm like, wait, where's this coming from? And then also too, it's like whenever the mom was like the third mom was like, I was walking by her room and heard her like going to town, and she was like,
wait, what does that mean?
Like
going to town,
masturbating.
Wait, what?
While on the phone with her boyfriend, and they were like having phone sex. And she's like, I'm not going to judge. Like, whatever she's an adult. Like, she's a consenting adult. Like, do whatever you want. But like, we all heard her. And I was like screaming bloody murder, like watching it.
But why did she bring that up on a national television show?
I don't know, because we wanted to know it, and I did want to know it. And it made me like, LOL.
Oh. How old was she when she did that? She's like an adult, so it's just
she's like, this is like this last year, like 20.
Okay, so she's like in her 20s. Yeah.
Like, it's all good, but it's just hilarious. Bare minimum OnlyFans. I don't want her to do that, like, unless she really wants to, but like, she could do that and people would pay for it. But again, like, get her a normal job.
Yeah. You know what she could do? Masterclass. You remember they have that company where like celebrities come in.
I have it. I don't know why I should cancel it. I never watch it.
Well, by the way, what? She could do that. But
for what?
Like scamming. I don't know.
Being a scammer. But that's the thing. I like don't think that she's like nefarious, but she's just like not like innocence is not there, is what I think it is.
Yeah. Oy. Okay. Well, do you recommend people watch it?
No, it was so good. What do you mean? Yes. It's so everything about it. Wow. I watched every single frame of it. It was so good. Okay, you're in New York City. You're walking down the street. Barnett walks past you. Do you say anything? Oh, 100%. Oh my God, I loved your work in season 1 of verbatim. This is what I would say. Okay. Oh my God, I loved your work in season 1 of The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. And he's like, when he goes, oh my gosh, thank you so much. No, he would be like, do you want to take a photo with me? And I'd be like, absolutely, I do. Yeah. And then I'd be like, tell me everything. He would be like over the moon. Well, then you say, I work as a reality TV producer, and he's like, I don't have any appointments for the next 4 hours. Let's go to this hotel. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, he is ready to go for me. If I was like, I love your work. Yeah. Did you watch the part where he like honestly missed him in this season? I wish he was in it more. I wish he would just come around and give his opinions. And then did you see last season whenever they like tried to have a meetup between the two of them, and he was just like, I'm not going to discuss this. I'm not going to like. She's like, what about whenever you guys did this to me? And he's like, I'm not going to discuss that. And I'm like, okay, so that means that that 100% happened. Yeah. Because what else is he going to say? You fucking idiot. God. Yeah. With his like tiny dick mobile car. He's always like with some weird Camaro and has like a backwards hat and mutton chops. I can't with him. I love him to death. He should be on Traders. He needs to be on Traders. He should be on Traders. I would give anything to see him on Traders. That's a great point. Yes. Okay, good. Well, it's him or it's the wife. Which one you would rather him? She would never do it though, because she's like not in the documentary at all. When she lives in Canada, right? I have no idea. I should have stopped in and said hello to her when I was in the country. She's a piece of trash. Here's a last question for you. I mean, you're producing a lot of these reality shows and you're not casting them. However, when people find out that you work in TV, inevitably you're going to have a good amount of people that go, oh my God, I should have a show, or my friends and I should have a show, or my family should have a show. What is what's the archetype that's so many people think like that they should have a show, but they just don't hit the mark? Like, for example, I remember a casting director once telling me, if I get another submission for Real Housewives and they have a bikini line, I'm going to scream. So like, what is the archetype that people think in theory would make for a great reality show, but it actually is like super boring and not interesting anymore? I don't even know if it's that, because like, not for nothing, most like, oh, my family should have a reality show. Like most people can't, that doesn't happen anymore. Yeah. You're usually on an ensemble show or a dating show or a competition show. Like they don't really, like the Kardashians, like doesn't exist anymore, really. Do you know what I mean? Like where it's just like, here's this like somewhat famous family that's going to have a reality show. They tried to do it like 9 million times. Remember that Muslim family that was like where the Muslim Kardashians, liked that show. It was like fine. It was like good enough, but it like did not take off at all. They got no press. Like it was nowhere. No one talked about it. The only one to like break out of that was like the Mormon girls. Yeah, like on Hulu. Yeah, but they weren't like they're not sisters. It was like whatever. But like a lot of people I feel like they're like, me and my sister are crazy and we'll say whatever we want and it's funny. And like it is, and I wish we would go back to more of that. Yeah. I think that the thing more is like I'm like hot and like basically like influencer lifestyle of just like I like look like a reality celebrity. Mm-hmm. But it's like, yeah, but you need to back it up with like the action of a reality star in the sense of I'm willing to confront people. I'm willing to say what's on my mind. I'm willing to stand up for myself. I'm willing to like not be afraid to come off bad. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to just give my real opinion versus like the one that I think everyone wants me to have, which many shows right now could how do I say this in code? One show in particular. Mimo. Yeah, one show in particular could really use that advice.
Mm-hmm.
I think know what show I'm talking about. Continue.
I still think that I could produce a great show if I found the right Irish family. I'm talking like lots of siblings. Maybe they live next door to their cousins. Irish families to me are
but
highly opinionated and funny.
They have to all be like doing something crazy.
No, I know. I feel like there's someone listening to this and they're going to reach out to me and go, we got it.
But I'm saying like they all work on like a farm that does blank. You know what I mean? Or they all like remember that ranch? You like love that show with like ranchers?
I love them, yeah.
Like that exists because it's like a weird thing.
By the way, before you go, did you see the trailer for our favorite new show that's about to happen next month about Ilaria and Alec Baldwin?
Yeah. Kate, come on. Am I going to be watching? Dominic and I said that we're going to do bonus episodes where we get the transcripts of the episode and do like a dramatic reading. And we'll every episode we'll switch off who's Hilaria and who's Alec.
Oh, yeah. You
should be there for one of those.
I'll play one of the kids.
Yeah, you should be. Or
I'm going to be Carmen.
You'll play all the kids. Obviously I have to come back to recap that. No, without
question. I mean, I can't wait. I'm actually going on.
I can't wait.
I'm actually in 2 hours going on News Nation to talk about this show. I can't wait.
Brother.
Yeah.
Oh, brother. What on earth is her voice?
I know. You know what? It's like it's going a little American flat. So I feel like she's trying to transition into America again.
It's like helium breath. Like she's like, I'd rather have like cucumbers. She was like, hi. So like, what are we gonna do?
That's true.
Like it's like I was like, ew.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he looks so fucking bad.
He looks old.
And if they try in any way to try to be like, we're so upset about this woman dying, I'm going to literally jump through the TV and strangle both of them.
Yeah. I mean, they have to address it because you can't have a reality show if you don't address it.
No, of course they're going to address it, but I'm like, I will murder both of you. Like, I know that I'm going to do it. And it's just like, I know that I'm going to be furious with them is what I should say. And like, I'm going to want to jump through the TV because they are going to handle it so poorly. And I can't wait.
Well, because it's TLC, we know that it's going to be a lot about the kids. It's going to be like zooming in while they're eating Cheerios and spilling out of the bowl.
Like, this one's like artistic and this one is like this.
Boop, boop.
And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, because we don't really care about the kids. We care about like what's going on with the mom.
Well, and obviously you saw that she has a memoir coming out.
No.
Called Manual Not Included, which 9 million people DM me and said, doesn't she mean Manuel Not Included? And I was like... Yes.
But I mean, she has like a lot of nannies. So are we going to be honest about that?
No, of course she's not. Like, of course she's not.
Yeah. I need the expose on the nannies.
Kate, to quote Ramona Singer herself, she has one thing and it's the audacity. Okay.
The audacity.
The audacity.
Yes.
For real. Like she cannot be stopped until this show is going to ruin both of them. And I can't wait.
By the way, did you watch The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion part 1 where Bronwyn used the word dastardly?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, that was good.
Her makeup is yowza.
I don't get it. Remember? No, she does the Chriselle thing with the weird thing.
Yeah. No, that is fine. But like she has like so much rouge on her face and I'm like, whoa.
Rouge.
Can we talk about Lisa Barlow? My queen, Lisa Barlow. Her spray tan, if you go back and watch when they're on the trip.
Yeah.
Her spray tan is so fucking bad. And it's all rubbed off on her face. So she looks like she has vitiligo. Like she looks like she literally looks like what Michael Jackson bleached his skin because of. Like it's all rubbed off on her forehead. It's all around her mouth is all rubbed off. And on her hands, like from her wrist up is just white. And then it's just like the worst spray tan you've ever seen. I mean, just imagine what charlatan in Salt Lake City is giving them spray tans.
Well, when Jenny Armstrong was on Real Housewives of Orange County, she had a party at her house. And I went over afterwards and the whole couch was like orange ruined because they all sat on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's hard to stay tan for TV, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't like it when people take it too far. You know, I have feelings about Croy Bierman. I mean, be honest about like what you have going on. You're not an Oompa Loompa. Like you're pale.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
So we have a lot to look forward to. Thank you for all the work that you've been doing. I listened to the 100th episode and I listened to it twice because I was laughing so absolutely hard. I recommend if you are looking for something to listen to this week that you want to continue the laughs. That episode in particular really was something.
Revisiting Megan. And P.S., that Vanity Fair article that they came out with.
Oh, I read it.
We said the exact same things as they did. So,
yeah.
You know,
here's my net on that one is like, he just has no other skill set than like shaking hands and holding babies.
Why would he? He's never done anything else in his life.
No. And I feel like there is an element of her going, okay, this is how you open a door and close a cabinet.
No,
and,
again,
yes.
Which is what I would love to watch them do.
Yeah, that would be a great show.
That was my first pitch ever, was like a show called Harry Does, where she teaches him how to do basic things.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens with those two. Okay.
I obviously have to come back for whenever Megan's show drops as well, right?
I know. When do you think that'll come out?
It's March 7th or something like that now.
Oh, good. Perfect.
Early March.
I do feel like it's horrible that people are like judging the entire show based on an 82-second clip. I think we need some more.
No, I mean, I know what the show's going to be, but like, that's fine.
But I just
like,
want to
what are we thinking it's going to be if not her doing random cooking demos and then talking to celebrities? That's exactly what it's like. Hello.
Yeah. But
it's not
I feel like her end goal though is to run for office. So does this help her in that?
I don't know. I mean, kind of.
Is it placeholder maybe?
I think she wants to be a rich person. I think she wants to be a rich celebrity.
Well, guess what? So do we all.
Yeah.
I like that too. It's not going to happen, but I like to.
Anyway.
Okay, what's coming up on the show and where can people follow you?
We also just had your friend Sarah Gretzky and her
I listened
partner, Natalia Buck.
So funny.
Fixing Jennifer Garner. Mm-hmm. Kelly Rowland is this week's episode.
Oh, because she had the whole fit at the Today Show, right?
Yes, and remember she had like got in a war with that woman on the con like film steps. Yeah. Remember that security guard was attacking her? It's more of like a we want better for Kelly because we do love her.
Yeah.
And then we have a few other really, really good ones coming up. We just recorded one about Raven Simone.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a few others, so be ready.
All right, where can people listen to the podcast and follow you?
They can listen to the podcast at Fixing Famous People. And it's Fixing Famous People anywhere you find podcasts. And obviously my Instagram is at the DeRosa. And yeah, we have a lot of funny things coming up. And we are waiting with bated breath for Hilaria's show. Which, P.S., is the fix that I pitched to fix her way back when.
I do believe that's correct. I remember.
It is 100%. I said that they should go to Mallorca and show that she's Spanish, but like, regardless, it was a reality show with all of them.
Remind me what Dominic said in the episode with Sarah and Natalie, and it was like a mic drop.
That Jennifer Garner should play Ghislaine Maxwell in the Ghislaine Maxwell Story movie.
Unbelievable.
I went like this. I just put my head down on the desk. I went like this.
But that was great.
It was incredible.
Like if
it was one of his best
fixes
crazy. Ever.
And he was holding on to it the whole episode, which is unbelievable.
Little bitch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
The amazing Kate Casey.
I want to thank my great guest, Chris DeRosa, and remind you to click subscribe, leave a 5-star review. When you get to my show in the Apple Podcast app or whatever app, all you have to do is scroll down, and then you will see the option of 5 stars. Please go ahead and do so if you are so kind. They are much appreciated. And then also make sure that you join the Facebook group, Reality Life with Kate Casey. You can get bonus episodes by going to Patreon, patreon.com/Kate Casey. My What to Watch list is at katecasey.substack.com. And of course, you can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at @KateCaseyCA, TikTok, it's Kate Casey, and Twitter and Threads at Kate Casey.
And now, a next-level moment from AT&T Business. Say you've sent out a gigantic shipment of pillows, and they need to be there in time for International Sleep Day. You've got AT&T 5G, so you're fully confident. But the vendor isn't responding, and International Sleep Day is tomorrow. Luckily, AT&T 5G lets you deal with any issues with ease, so the pillows will get delivered and everyone can sleep soundly, especially you. AT&T 5G requires a compatible plan and device. Coverage not available everywhere. Learn more at att.com/5G network.